I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk love, power, soul, and sin. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap news. You'll drink it up, it's the real you. In between thirst bubbles, where every headline's a revelation.
Hey, hey, teach me how to do it, hey. They be like, smooth, what? Can you teach me how to do it? You know why? Cause all the bitches love it. All I need is a beat that's super bumpin'. And for
I can't even hula that good. I can't even dance that good in heels.
Arms out front, lean side to side. They gon' be on you when they see you hit that dirty ride. Ain't nobody fucking with my bro from Morningside. He go by Bubba and he hit that dance like thunder. Okay. I ain't from Dallas, but I need town boogie. I show my moves on to everybody tryna do it. I lead the functions and all the ladies tryna screw me.
You can
Now
pop
you
mute it
just
so
do
it'll
you.
just strip.
And I'm
Holy shit. More power to you, baby. If you can do that in fucking heels, shit. Fucking record that shit and you make your money, honey. Just don't do that in front of kids. That's what I have to say about it. Look, I ain't judging it. That's how you want to make your money. You can make your money that way. But just don't do it around the kids. I've been to drag shows. Drag shows are hilarious. They're fun. They're hilarious. But I've never seen a kid in a drag show. I think that's like where we draw the line, right? No, I was just thoroughly impressed with his skills. Like, how can a man hula that well in uncomfortable clothes and heels? So, ladies, the lesson is step your damn game up because the boys are taking it. They're taking the crown. Yeah, that was a freaking dude. Sorry for being late. Happy to see you all though. They do like little tricks and stuff like that at drag shows. They have like little talent portion or whatever. They usually dance and stuff and whatever, you know. I like to see the carny freaks. You know, it's good popcorn. Good popcorn eating moment. So yeah, super late. Got 7 of you on. That's what I get for being very fucking late. How are you guys? How are you doing? You been watching the news today? I've been watching the news today. How y'all feeling about the Epstein stuff? Who's been crawling all over the intranet, the world wide web of junk? I have 3 hula hoops. I've been learning to spin hula and fire. But you start on poi balls, so they're like the light up balls, so you don't burn yourself. But it's a workout, and it's pretty hard. All right. Nako says you're still pretty, not much makeup on. Hang on, guys, 1 second. Yes. You want to go check that? Thank you. I appreciate the compliment about not wearing as much makeup. It's been I've not, just truth be told, a terrible mood all day. And yeah, so there was no makeup wearing today. I just put on a little mascara and eyeliner and a little blush, and that's it. Because yeah, y'all, it's just, I warned y'all yesterday, this is a rough time for me. But I've got plenty on the show because, and the very last two things you're going to want to stick around for. I'm going to move through this show quickly because I got on really late. I will still make sure to check the chat. Y'all still talk to each other in the chat. Please, I love it when y'all do that. When y'all talk, because this is what I do it for. This is to bring our heads together, brainstorm, make sure we're all on the same page. You know what I mean? Because it's coming, folks. And when you see the last two videos, the second to last video I have to show you, shit's going to get real. I am not happy. I'm actually scared. My stomach is set aside from the fact that my son has passed away and it was birthday yesterday and that my oldest ran away. Set that to the side. I am legitimately sad that a lot of the things going on in the world are not conspiracy theories and they're just real. And the one I'm going to show you has me kind of like the ball in my stomach because it means everything else is true. If this is true, and it's true. And likely a lot of you haven't even noticed it yet. But you're holding it right in your hand right now. And it got rolled out very quietly while all this Epstein bullshit and shutdown's been going on. But this is what I have on the show for you. More Epstein shit. Government just fucked over growers and smoke shops. Woke church is wild as fuck. Church leader don't give a fuck about mom's hungry baby. Drill prank. Message in the clouds. Tim Tebow hunts pedos. Disarming citizens is bad, okay? You good? You did. It's good? All right. Good night. Sleep tight. You can give me a hug. It's fine. I don't care if the show's on. I'm not gonna ever stop you from coming over if it's important. Good night. Love you. Sorry guys. All right. Tim Tebow hunts pedos. Disarming citizens is bad. Okay. Think fast. Gateway Church founder. H1B visas. Marjorie is mad she was on hold. The dead gotta eat too. Prison staffers fired for stealing. Bondi names prosecutor. My people. Sabatini still hates Trump. New Yorkers fed up. Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith. I always say his name wrong. I know it's not Stephen. I don't know why I do that. Stephen A. Smith flames the Dems. Epstein victims say Trump not involved. Digital ID. And what does Fuentes have to say? Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know what? I kind of feel like I'm in her defense on a lot of the stuff going on because I actually do pay attention to what she's saying, and Trump is being a bit egotistical and prideful and isn't showing a little bit of humility. However, he did respond to what she said because she was on The View. Good for her for going on a hostile set, number one. She was cordial. She was polite. She didn't act ratchet. It wasn't an attack fest. They had a cordial conversation. And on that, she said, sorry, but grocery prices are still very expensive. Nothing's coming down. He took offense to that. Because one thing about Trump that I don't like, and I know this only from running for office, and it's because I'm allied with some mutual partners between me and Trump. He does not, if you go against him, it's like his pride is massively. However, he did announce today that he's canceling the tariffs by executive order on beef and grocery products. So even though she hurt his ego a little bit, he did hear her and he did act on it. So there's that. So glad to have people coming back in. I know I got on here late, so we're getting a little thicker. I love that. Kimmy Girl's here. Hey, honey, how are you doing, my dear? Texas, Cascades, Anthony's here. Andy Graphics, Keith, Evan, Mario, Lucho. Lots of names I know. Kona, Maximus, Texas, 1774. Good mom. Aw, thank you, Texas. I appreciate that. She was in trouble too. Don't tell her, but she was feeling like she didn't know if she should come say goodnight. But that's why I was like, I don't care if I'm doing my show. You can always come on over. Fine by me. Grow your own weed. Hey, I agree. Second Amendment, baby. Huey Media says the digital ID. You might be on it. Okay. You know what? I don't have my drink or my smoke. Oh, we can't smoke. Annabelle's home. Or I don't want wine. I just want like a regular soda, my soda in the fridge. Thank you. Welcome, Maestra Matthew, Petey Calderon, and Anthony. It's the tribe showing up full force. That's right. Yahoo! You know, I was like kind of worried because like there's just so much drama happening right before the show. We couldn't get on time, and I was like, oh no, my people are gonna miss me. Ah! And so, you know, it's okay. Y'all are showing up, man. I gotta tell y'all though, I really love all of y'all. Y'all have really, over the last 24 hours, really been there for me. It's the first time. I mean, I've always done a written post on my private Facebook, not every year, but on years that I just felt like I should. But that's the first time I've ever had publicly done a video and showed like my emotions about my son, because I felt different this year because I'm actually grieving 2 children. You know, y'all know my older ran away. And so I just felt like putting that out into the zeitgeist, into the meta world, the quantum world, because I just was like, maybe my son will actually, I don't know, get an immersive experience with this, like out on in the electronic space, you know. And I just thought that more people that see it and hear it and feel it with me, the stronger our vibration will be together, and send that message up to heaven. Ah, shit. Anyway, moving on. Captain America says, good evening. Chef Bob Haney. Hello, sir. Hello, Piano Man Todd. I play the piano. And the violin. I did learn the cello, but I didn't keep up with it, so I probably forgot a lot of it. Texas says, this is my first time seeing your show, and you're very down to earth, and it's refreshing. Sending your prayers to your family. Thank you. I post all my lives afterwards the next day, sometimes the same night if I'm not too tired. But I post them the next day so you can go back and see all of my lives. This is episode 27. I'm also on YouTube. There's a much better quality on YouTube. So if you want, you know, more of the TV experience, it's on YouTube and Rumble. You know, you don't get the chat experience, the community experience, but that's why I stream on Instagram, because it's where, when I ran for Congress, that's where I had most of my followers. So I just kind of picked it up from there. Hey, D-Max. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Laura. Welcome to my show. We're about to get into the first video for me to react to. Okay, here we go. I'm doing all right, Mr. Potts. Thank you for your message you sent me. It was incredibly moving, and I could picture the whole thing in my head, and you touched my heart with your message, Mr. Potts. So thank you. I said it before you got on, but I was telling everyone, thank you so much. All of you have been so great since yesterday. So supportive. And it means a lot. I know we've never met face to face, but, you know, it means a lot to see people giving back to you, you know. So thank you, all of you, from the bottom of my heart. All right, first video coming up. More Epstein shit.
Why are they trying to cover up that Donald Trump had sex with children?
I mean, it's as clear as day in the email.
Let me read what Jeffrey Epstein wrote. I want you to realize that the dog who hasn't barked is Trump.
Okay, let's play devil's advocate. They're saying it's so obvious to them that it is Trump, so let's be devil's advocate. That could mean if the dog didn't bark, that could mean no. No has happened. It didn't bark yet. No excitement.
Redacted, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. New information just released. Or is it? Because in 2011, that was released and everybody knew it. It's been out floating around. Here's the change. I want you to realize the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Virginia spent hours at my house with him. Why would you redact a name that is already out in the public square? Well, because it makes it all suddenly new and shiny. You see victim
I
and
agree
you're
with
like,
that.
oh, there's a...
That's definitely a tactic. I know that for a fact. Forensic psychology background, academically, they will absolutely. Redaction benefits not just in like legitimately wanting to protect a victim, but it also leaves room for you to assume what you want to believe. So if the name's cleared out and you just see victim, that automatically implies a crime on that person had occurred, just period. So it's very, to me, deceptive.
victim that he was...
In a real redaction, there's no word replaced. It's just a black block.
Who's the victim? But when you know it's Virginia, you know this has already gone to court. She already testified about this. And I'm quoting, this is from the testimony. He didn't partake in any of this, any sex with any of it. It's true. This is not...
Said Buddy flirted with me. That I believe. I believe he flirted. He's, you know, people say I'm flirtatious and I don't even like know that I'm being flirtatious. And I know that I come across that way because my dad was like that. And he was just a very charming man. And women would think he was flirting with them when he wasn't. And I understood my dad. My mom would get so jealous because she'd be like, you don't know. And I remember being like 16 telling my mom, like, he's not meaning to do it. It's just his sauce, man. Dad just got the sauce. And it was because my dad just liked to be kind and sweet to people. And that's kind of how I am. So people can take it as I'm flirting, or, you know, if I laugh a lot or whatever. I could just genuinely be just enjoying someone's company and then thinking I'm flirting.
New news. If you remember when
Trump likes to be liked the most. So if he's with other men and there's one female around, and as primal and masculine as he is, he's probably going to act a little bit more macho and a little bit more flirtatious. It's kind of happens with men unconsciously. You know, it happens.
Down first started, what did the Democrats say the reason why they did the shutdown? Why Mike Johnson and everybody else wouldn't negotiate? Because the heat was on to release the Epstein files, and they didn't want to have to do that, so they shut the government down. So the government is open, and what does Mike Johnson do yesterday? He said the House is going to vote on a bill to release all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein next week. Good, Mike. Release all of it. If anybody thinks that you're ever going to get the truth on this in the first place, it's madness. It was in the hands of the Democrats for the longest time. You don't think it was all picked through? And if there was anything about Donald Trump, you don't think that would have come up between 2020 and 2024? There's nothing in there about Donald Trump.
Because I think the freaking Democrats would have been salivating to let that out. You know what I mean? Trump is like the devil to them. It seems like they would have been just chomping at the bits to like let that out a second Biden got in office, you know? So like, why didn't they? Now, for some of you newer people on my show, I react to everything that I see coming through on the timelines. I don't just look for just conservative stuff, because everyone knows I'm a constitutionalist. So, like, I don't like to say I'm conservative. It just happens to be that a lot of what I believe in, which is the law of nature, just happens to align with the conservative side. But I'm a constitutionalist, meaning If it violates your constitutional rights, then we worry about it. If it doesn't, the government doesn't need to be involved in dealing with it. So I'll react to stuff I see Democrats say, and I'll give my opinions on it, because I think it's important not to just watch material that just makes you feel good, that just confirms what you believe, and you just look for all the stuff that just aligns with you. I think it's important to look at right, left, and independent, and look at it all and get the macro, not just focus on the stuff that I like. Because that's how I feel that I can make an informed decision, because I got to see both sides of the argument. I'm not going to just blindly follow anybody. I'm a free agent. I have free will. And I'm not just because I align with, just because I love Trump doesn't mean I agree with everything he does. I don't, but I do love him. So like, I can be real about things, I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, he's great. Everything about him's great. Biden, I couldn't find a redeeming quality about him. I tried. I did feel bad that his family allowed him to become president at that age. That to me is elder abuse, and I don't care what your crimes were as a young person. It's just that there comes a certain point where someone's so old that you just really, need to just honor our duty to be kind and good and let God handle the rest. Because, let's look at the chat. Straight up, the intelligence community has been behind trying to take Trump down, and you better believe that they would have used it if he was really involved with the pedo crap. I agree. Hardcore hair sticks. Hey, Luna. Hi. Are you a hairdresser? Because I've been a hairdresser for 23 years. Nako says, I love him too. Woo woo. Alejandro joined. JPI joined. Ari. Hi, Ari. My Viking friend that joins the chat. Ari Longbeard. Not sure if there are documents protecting the suspected victims. He's replying to at Maximus. Anthony is. Hi, Anthony. I'm so glad you're here, Anthony. Biden sucks. Sorry, but not sorry. Psh, Texas, you can say whatever you want on my channel. All right. We're going to go on to the next video. Government just fucked over growers and smoke shops.
Congress just effectively killed a $28 billion industry, and almost nobody is talking about it. I'm CNBC's Brandon Gomez, and inside the bill Congress passed to reopen the government this week, lawmakers quietly dropped in a THC cap so low it effectively bans almost every hemp product in the country.
What the fuck?
We're talking gummies, drinks, vapes, all gone. The limit is now 0.4 milligrams of THC per container.
It's 0.3 where I'm
gummy
at.
usually has between 2.
That don't make no sense, because where I'm at is 0.3. So I guess there were other states that had, I guess, just a lot higher stuff, because where we're at, the legal stuff is 0.3. And I'm a lightweight, so I don't even really need to like worry about strength and stuff like that. Well, he's saying, production's saying it can't be a condensed 0.3. But they changed that law in Florida a while ago about the condensation, like the mixture, and it seems fine. And 0.4 is, I don't know if they're right about the number, but it's CNBC by all intents and purposes. They are, not necessarily the most trustworthy, I'll say. Y'all, my haircut, I gotta get somebody competent to do this hair. Folks. All right. Let's look. Okay. My hair looks absolutely amazing. Oh, thank you. She said, or he, she, I'm not sure who Hardcore Hair Sticks is, but they said, nope, we are a luxury EDC beauty tool brand based in Aiken, South Carolina. Ooh, you've piqued my interest. Maybe we could work on some like collabs with product, because I do hair, and I'm a fucking rock star with the hair. So hit a girl up. JJ Rice. I'm Irish and militant. Yes, sir. The Irish. I love the Irish. I'm Scottish, so me and the Irish get along pretty good. you know, have a whiskey and a brawl and then a hug. That's how you become best friends. Get drunk on a whiskey, have a good fight, and then you kiss and make up. And then you go on your merry way, singing all you want. Did you know where the term hangover came from? Literally, because they would hang ropes in the old days outside the bar and along the streets, so that when you came outside the bar and you didn't have a place to stay, you hang yourself over the rope so your drunk ass doesn't have to sleep in your vomit on the ground. Isn't that funny? Hilarious. And Texas says, great personality, girl. Thank you for the flower. All right. Let's finish this video. Man.
5 and 10 milligrams. That new limit effectively wipes out 95% of the market. And it gets worse. More than 300,000 jobs are on the line. Farmers,
you can thank conservatives for this bullshit.
Especially in states like Kentucky, Texas, and Utah. Hemp
These
was
are
legalized
you can
in
thank
2018,
your
thanks to
Bible
Senator Mitch
beaters.
McConnell, who said it would revive American agriculture. Now, fast forward to today, and Senator McConnell was actually the one who pushed for this new ban, calling it a fix to a loophole created in the 2018 Farm Bill that let these products actually come to market. But other Republicans are furious. Fellow Kentucky Senator Rand Paul called it thoughtless, ignorant, and said every hemp seed in America may now have to be destroyed. Executives say demand for hemp-derived THC isn't going anywhere. So this ban could actually explode the black market. No testing, no age checks, no oversight. The industry says the only real fix isn't prohibition.
Dude. Let me just say something. If you've ever been to a communist country, the one thing they have copious amounts of cheap is drugs and alcohol. Do you know why? Think about it. Who's going to take you down if they're all fucked up alcoholics and on drugs?
It's regulation, testing, labeling, age limits, like the laws that exist around alcohol or tobacco. One quiet line.
I just
in the
think they
government
should
funding
just
bill.
make it like alcohol. Like, how in the hell do you have alcohol legal? A toxin that literally is responsible for killing more people than can even come close to marijuana. And why don't we just make the smoking age 21, leave it there, get a DUI if you're driving way too stoned, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Just make the same rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is so fucking ridiculous. But no, they'll keep alcohol legal. That's fine. The toxin. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't drink alcohol because it's a toxin. In fact, wormwood, black walnut, that's a toxin. But you use it in small doses and you can cleanse yourself of parasites because it's a toxin. Same thing with antibiotics. You are a biotic. So the antibiotic is also bringing your cells down lower, and it brings, same thing with cancer. What they do with cancer, that make the host with chemo, you make the host so sick that the cancer doesn't want to eat off the cells. So it's like, I get it, toxins. I'm not saying don't drink alcohol just because it's a toxin, but we know what alcohol does. It completely wipes your memory, man. Like,
might reshape cannabis, push business back underground, and erase billions in revenue. But that's if further negotiations don't happen. And the clock is ticking. The all-out ban hits in 1 year. The question is, what do you think?
Y'all better stock up. If it's legal where you're at, you better fucking stock up, because, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm so irritated over this. I have fibromyalgia. I need this stuff. Like, I also have a weapon carrying permit, so I can't get a medical card, which I think is also bullshit. All right, next video. Woke church is wild as fuck.
Now we got Jesus, who's not a very family values guy in the scripture, telling us to hate our parents and to pick up our cross and follow him. And so one of the young people in my life
Hate
was like,
your
"What are you preaching
parents?
tomorrow morning?"
He's never
And I
said that.
pick up your cross and follow me. I hate these scriptures. And this young person in my life was like, what? Wait, Jesus said, pick up your cross? I said, yeah. While he was alive. I said, yeah, well, the scripture was probably written after his death, but yes. And he said, so he's saying this to disciples who don't even know that he's going to be crucified. And I said, yes. And this young person in my life said, that's weird. And I said, yes.
No, it's not weird, because if you study Roman history, the Romans used crucifixes to kill their worst of the worst prisoners slowly. So everyone knew what the cross, when you said the phrase, carry your cross, it means like, you better own what you did. You better carry it and do it humbly. Otherwise, you're going to be not judged so well. That's what that means. Carry your cross, bear your cross, like humbly be accountable for the things that you have done as a sinning person. But no, it's not weird that he would have said, pick up your cross before he died, because everyone knew that it was a torture device.
So the cross is an instrument of torture that is intended to keep people in line, right? So it's a little bit like if today we wore an electric chair around our neck, because it's the way that Jesus was killed by the state, by the government, right? And that would be a very strange, like, if you think of it that way, you're like, what? And so if you translate it as Jesus kind of saying, well, if you want to be my disciple, you have to go sit in the electric chair. I'd say, no, thank you, Jesus. I don't want that.
First of all, we know you wouldn't, because you're a phony and you're a fraud.
Boom.
Okay, obviously, everybody already knows that you're just like lying, right? And you don't know what you're talking about. So we're not even going to get into that. My question is, right? Why are you even doing this? Like, you don't
care. Good question.
You don't want to do it. So like, why are you there? No one's forcing you. Do you clock in?
She's like,
before you start
I'm a preacher
preaching?
and I hate Jesus.
Like, you act as if it's like a job that you don't want. You act as if you just walked into your Wendy's shift. Oh, I hate reading the Bible. I hate talking about the Bible. Leave, bro. Like, what's stopping you? It's better if you leave. It's better for you if you leave, because you're dragging so many people to hell.
She wants to be there. She wants to be there to turn people away. That's the perfect place to do it, is in church. Scar them from church and they'll never go back. Think about how many people you know have been scarred from church. The devil walks right there amongst the place. Think about it. If he wants to mislead you, he's going to go right and hide in the place where you go to the source for safety. He's going to hide there. And definitely, yeah, makes sense to me. She's right where she wants to be. She's out here turning people out, probably trying to make them gay too. Look at her crazy haircut. Okay. Here's another church leader. Don't give a fuck about mom's hungry baby. Here.
Howdy, you can hear me but not see me. So just context first. This is about the woman who's been on TikTok, who's been playing the sound of a baby crying and then calls churches and says that she's a single mother. She can't afford baby formula. Can you please help me feed my child? And every single church like put up a roadblock to help her. And then she started calling mosque. Every single mosque without exception was, where are you at? What formula do you need? How can we help you? Just exposing the corruption of church. So now a lot of these church people who are losing members because of this are starting to respond and apologize. This church leader doesn't feel bad in the slightest. Here's his response to this woman.
Okay, friends, there's the elusive man on microphone for you.
This pastor's response to the baby formula experience is by far the most unhinged response I've heard. Like, I thought the other ones were bad. This one is just watch.
Stephen Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Phoenix, Arizona. So I made a post on X about how the church should not be funding single mothers who are whores. And the point is on there just saying how I don't know the Bible, I'm nothing like Jesus, and I'm of the devil,
You
and all this
aren't.
stuff. And this just goes to show just the stupidity and ignorance of scripture that exists among today's so-called Christians. I mean, on X that are
Wait. He said they shouldn't be giving, right? They can't see the, here we go. Hold on. You didn't switch it. There we go. Let me start it over. Y'all saw that behind me? Y'all saw that behind me? We're talking about, look at what we're talking about happened behind me.
This pastor's response to the baby formula experience is by far the
Oh my gosh.
most unhinged
Y'all can't
response
see what
I've heard.
happened behind me.
Like, I thought
Because the Instagram thing's covering it. I gotta show you what just happened behind me. I don't know if you heard something fall. Hold on. Did y'all see that little dumpling light up dumpling I had right there on the blue wall? It just fucking jumped off the wall. Look at what we're talking about when this happened too. Jeez, I gotta listen to this guy again because I want to make sure I heard him right.
This pastor's response to the baby formula experience is by far the most unhinged response I've heard. Like, I thought the other ones were bad. This one is just watch.
Stephen Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Phoenix, Arizona. So I made a post on X.
Yeah, he
about
did
how
say
the church should not be funding single
piece of
mothers
shit.
who are whores.
Who are
And
whores.
the post is on there just saying how
This triggers me because when I got out of the cult, I had gotten pregnant with my oldest Penelope, and they disfellowshipped me because I was a whore.
I don't know the Bible, I'm nothing like Jesus, and I'm of the devil, and all this stuff. And this just goes to show just the stupidity and ignorance of scripture that exists among today's so-called Christians. I mean, on X, that are just losing.
The audacity for him to say so-called Christians. You aren't modeling Jesus' behavior at all. You're a guy who follows doctrine. He is like the Jewish Pharisees, because the Jewish Pharisees were the ones who were like this. Just like this. That's why Jesus flipped over the money table. He was so sick and over it with the Pharisees because of their oppression onto the people. Law after law after law after law. Jesus with all of the degenerates because he said the only law that matters is the law of love, because the only thing that really matters is how you treat other people. Doesn't mean that showing love means you withhold discipline. And showing love is telling the truth. Sometimes love looks like a hug, and sometimes love looks like a kick in the pants. But it's never making someone feel like their soul is unworthy to have assistance, because Jesus never did treated anyone like that. And to be a Christian means to be Christ-like. That's the literal definition of being a Christian. It has nothing to do with a religion or a doctrine. It means to model Jesus' behavior. That's what being a Christian is, which is why I explain to people I'm a Christo-pagan. They're like, what is that? Well, because I recognize the divinity of Jesus Christ. I recognize this is his era and he is king, but I model his behavior because that is how you get to heaven. The pagan part has to do with the nature part of me. I find God in nature, and that's more of my religion. That's the spiritual side of me that I practice religiously, and I model Jesus religiously. Not as a religion. I don't worship him as God. I bring him into my life as my savior on behalf of the divine, the God, the all, the everything. You can't get close to the right hand of the divine without Jesus, because he is the one that walked the earthly human experience and earned the kingship at the right hand of God. And he's saying, if you want to get to this point, to be in this high of a dimension, you have to walk through suffering and be able to love people anyway. Father, forgive them for what they do not know. We're dealing with a mass amount of ignorance in this world. And when someone is ignorant, they just lack the knowledge. Now, once they have the knowledge, it's a different story because then they make a choice. Then that determines whether you're a good or bad person. So I think following Jesus' example is the way, the truth, and the light. And Jesus, if he said that, and he didn't make prostitutes feel like they were worthless, then what business do I have doing that? That's why you see when the opening video with the guy dressing up and doing this little dance, that's why you didn't see me going, you're so gross. He's in the privacy of his own home. His page is not for kids. And you have to respect that. He's just getting out having his fun because he probably doesn't have the bravery to go on stage and do it at night. But I'm not judging him because it's not my job. It's not my job. I don't have to judge him. What is my job is to protect my children. I don't have to judge him to protect my children. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is being Christ-like.
Their minds about me stating what should just be the most obvious thing in the world. Let's go to the Bible and see what the Bible actually says. I mean, how in the world could you read 1 Timothy chapter 5 and then walk away saying, oh, God wants us to just finance fornicators and just pay for women who are producing bastard children out of wedlock? That's where the Lord's money should go. And again, I don't care about your feelings. Facts don't care about your feelings. You know, the Bible is
He's such
truth.
a fucking turd.
And at the end of the day,
Facts don't care about your feelings.
What the Bible says. I'm going to preach what the Bible says. And you can
so I guess he just skips over, the part about love thy neighbor as thyself.
1 Timothy chapter 5 says that I'm right because the whole Bible teaches that I'm right. Nowhere would God's money be used to fund fornication or pay for the bastard children that fornication produces.
What?
God bless you.
That's how he's talking about children. What the fuck? Fuck that guy. What's that guy's name? Pastor Steven Anderson. Luna's got a pet project. Hang on, let me get this name down. Pastor Steven Anderson is about to meet Luna Lopez, and I will make sure to document it all for you guys. All right. He's also pious, and
pastor's response
probably just sits there jerking off to his own picture, honestly. Blech. All right. Here is the drill prank. Look, boys, and my ladies in the chat, here's an idea for you. And boys, I'm just giving you a warning. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Amanda.
He handled it the most sane. He was like, Amanda.
These are my new shorts. Right there, right?
He said these are new shorts. Just the sound and the poke, they thought they got drilled. The human brain is funny, right? Like, you really can like close your eyes and get like an immersive experience. Like, if you were to say, if you were to close your eyes and someone were to, put your hands in like water and spray sea salt smell and blow wind, you'd probably feel like you're at the beach. The human mind is funny because all they did was like hear the bzz and then the poke, and they all freaked out like they actually got drilled. That's fucking hilarious. Men freak out like in the funniest way too, because you never see them like do that. So whenever you do get to see a guy get a little scared for a second, it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. All right. All right, fellas. Too bad a bunch of you dropped off, because for all my loyal followers, I have a message for you that I just wanted you to know. I have a message in the clouds. It's just for all my boys that my faithful followers all day, every day. That is all. All right, next video. Tim Tebow hunts pedos.
Every red dot is a unique IP address that is downloading and sharing child images and videos, and that's just the last 30 days in the state of New York.
Jesus. And is the FBI
arresting Did you see that?
People? Well, do you see the blue dots? Those are the ones that are being investigated. So number one offender.
I didn't see any blue dots.
Biological fathers.
Let me show you the picture closer because I know it's kind of hard to see. All of those red dots are people downloading and sharing child pornography just in the past 30 days in the New York area. And only the blue dots, only a few of them are being investigated. This is the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. And I didn't really believe it. I'm like, there's no way. So I downloaded this app, Citizen. No, I'm not sponsored. But you can see people that are registered sex offenders just in your area. Registered sex offenders. So I looked around Los Angeles, and look how many there are. This is insane. I mean, how many of these people are we interacting with and just have no idea? And it's all over the world, all over the U.S.
So there's an app you can get called Newsbreak. They didn't pay me for this, so this is just honest. Like, get that app because it's free, and it in real time updates you when there's predators like this around, and you can see where they all live. And you can actually, on Newsbreak, you can hear they release the audio for every 911 call as they come in, and you can hear the dispatchers and the cops talking on Newsbreak. So I highly recommend that. Ari says, I try to stay on, but I'm a truck driver and sometimes hit dead spots and phone cuts off, but I know I always enjoy watching and listening to your show. Thanks for hanging with us, Ari. And truck driving is fun. My dad was a truck driver, and I loved going on his routes with him. It was so fun. We listened to NPR all the time, but this was back in the 90s, so this was back when it was actually news and not, taken over by liberals.
Check this out. Whether you're left or right, up or down, Israel or Palestine, I think we can all agree on this. This is a subject that does not get talked about enough. And maybe it's because the subject's a little hard to talk about.
Look at how many in one spot.
Maybe the keywords on social media get censored.
I think that's in Ohio.
Often. Maybe it's because some of the higher
There's
ups
New York.
Well, that's just a conspiracy. Who knows?
Look at that.
But this is a big problem, and we need to raise more awareness
to the
about this because
center right
these numbers just made me sick to my stomach.
It's like clumped up. It's like they all just go hang out together. That's probably where the rings are too. A lot of and it's kind of funny because the highest population of Jews is there, and Muslims, and both of those cultures think that copulation with a girl 3 years old and up is fine. I read it in the Talmud. It's there. As long as they're a goyim and not a Jew, they're allowed to do that. So kind of funny how, Tim Tebow showed New York. Tim Tebow, isn't he from right down the street right here? Yeah, he went to high school right down the street from the studio that I'm in right now. So, he showed New York, which I think is perfect timing for us to show because they just elected that fucking Muslim idiot. And I think I'm not going to say causation, I'll just say correlation there. Texas says, I've seen things in my career that would leave you with nightmares. Way too many pedos out there. What do you do, Texas? All right. Next slide for you. Disarming citizens is bad. Okay. So does this look familiar, folks? First, the European governments disarmed their citizens last century. Who else did that? Che Guevara, Castro, Hitler, let's go on down the list. Now, the European governments are arresting their citizens over social media posts and memes. So, here's what they don't tell you. This is the classic playbook. First, they take your weapons under the guise of safety. Then, once you're defenseless, they come for your freedom of speech. Citizens across Europe are now being arrested, raided, and jailed for posting memes and offensive, quote unquote, opinions online. Opinions. This is the direct consequence of a disarmed populace. The Second Amendment was never about hunting. It was about the Founding Fathers' fail-safe against tyrannical government, exactly like the ones now emerging in Europe. However, J6, whether it was legitimate or not, shows you exactly what they will do should you decide to hold your government accountable or take it down because it's not doing the will of the people. That's our house. We should be allowed on it at any moment we want, whenever we want. We pay for that. And J6 showed, they staged something and made an example of anybody who tried to help anyone and put them in jail, and shows you what they'll do here in this country. They create a problem, social division, offer the solution in censorship, and enforce it because you gave up your power to resist. This was the plan all along. So the lesson is clear. A disarmed man is a subject. They are a slave. An armed man is a citizen. They are systematically turning citizens back into subjects and slaves. So, the day may come where we may have to put our money where our mouth is. Yes, we were lied to, Huey media, about Hitler. None of them were good, and he wasn't what they made him to be. I think that they MK Ultra'd Hitler because I actually looked at his material and propaganda before World War II. He was very much like Trump. That's why they call him Hitler, because Hitler, before he turned into Hitler, was very much God, country, family, neighbor, and all of a sudden he turns into this homicidal maniac. And if you read his doctor who did, there's a movie about the doctor, actually. I think American Horror Story actually had the doctor as a character in one of the seasons. But the doctor who did the most writing about everything that happened during World War II tells you the cocktail of drugs that they would put Hitler on. And before he met Mussolini, he was amped up on all kinds of stimulants and other drugs. And as a psychologist and a neuroscience minor, I can tell you there are certain mixtures of medications that psychologists and psychiatrists know not to put together because it can permanently break your brain. But if you wanted to do it on purpose, you could break someone's brain. I don't know. I think he got MK Ultra'd, and I don't think we can trust anything about anything that's ever been told, because now we're realizing how deep and how long this has gone. I think everything is a huge fucking lie aimed for one goal, and that's, one world government and citizens with no weapons. All right. Like a dystopia. You better think fast, folks.
Think fast, I'm a random girl. Think fast, I'm a random girl.
I can't.
Think fast, I'm a random girl. Hey, baby.
Thank you. Mother said
Damn.
I'm a random girl at a bar. That's my random girl. What the fuck? Oh my god. That's fucked up, some random girl.
He was just thinking slower.
Think that's a random girl.
Get the fuck off me, you fucking whore.
You fucking whore.
Think fast, I'm a random girl.
Whoa, hey! Whoa!
Think fast, I'm a random girl at a bar.
Nope.
Think fast, I'm a random girl.
That would be me. That's me. Get this bugger off me, toot.
Think fast, I'm a random girl.
That, you know what? I should have not had this on the show. I should have just done this on surprise with producer Ryan and aired it for you guys. That would have been fucking funny. Next time I find a prank video, though, I'm not going to show y'all. I'm just going to do it. All right. Gateway Church founder. I know who this. We lived out nearby there. Church is a huge thing out in Texas. I'm just going to say. All right, go ahead.
But I'm just happy that
is over. I feel good about it. It's behind us. What does this do?
Isn't it satisfying to see him carried out in shackles?
I don't know that I have words for that yet.
I don't, these fucking preachers, man, especially these mega churches, they're idolized by people, and they get like, people trust them with their kids because they're supposed to be a man of God. I don't trust not a damn nobody alone with my kids. Huey Media says Trump is controlled opposition that answers to the same donors and puppets they all do. He's a Trojan horse for conservatives. I can appreciate that perspective. There's certain things going on where I'm in the last 48 hours, I'm getting uncomfortable. All right. Y'all check this shit out. H-1B visas. This is off Marjorie Taylor Greene's page.
H-1B visa holders in America. Now, who is coming to this country to take these high-skilled jobs? As I mentioned, STEM fields dominate the occupations. And most of the workers come from India. In fact, 70% of H-1B visa holders come from India.
Illuminati Nation, how you doing? Vikings 92.
From China.
How you doing?
80% of H-1B visa approvals are for entry.
80% of the work visas are being taken up by entry-level jobs that Americans need.
Level or junior level jobs. That's a little hard to stomach when we hear that we're not talented enough or that we're not skilled enough for these jobs when you consider.
When I was running for Congress, the one thing I kept screaming from the rooftops is that our kids across the country are graduating 12th grade at an 8th grade reading level.
That most of these jobs are actually.
You can thank Bush for that, for No Child Left Behind, which had caused an epidemic of kids who can't score and are still pushed to the next grade.
At entry or junior level jobs. And it's definitely to the benefit of corporations, tech companies that can hire foreign workers, trust me on this, cheaper than American workers. This is laid out, by the way, by billionaire tech entrepreneur Palmer Luckey.
There's so much H-1B abuse. You would not believe what I saw when I was in Silicon Valley. It is insane. It's obviously a program to try and replace U.S. workers with basically slave labor that can't ever escape. The H-1B abuse is crazy.
700,000
H-1B programs, and 80% of them are entry-level jobs, folks. Trump was like, oh, we created all these jobs. And I'm like, literally, but why are so many people having a hard time finding a job? And now you know why. Marjorie is mad. She was on hold.
Welcome to the White House. If you're a panickin, please wait on the line. Thank you.
If you're a panickin?
We're experiencing a long line of panicins trying to get on the line. Please continue to hold.
Oh.
I'm sorry. No one seems to want to talk to panicins anymore. If you'd like to leave a message, no one cares. Thank you. Have a nice day.
The fuck? I'm withdrawing my. So we should probably. Should we mute that? Let's mute that.
Welcome to the White House.
Let me do it.
If you're a panickin, please wait on the line. Thank you.
All right. Listen to Trump. Y'all remember, this is because Marjorie Taylor Greene got on The View and said, sorry, but the prices of groceries is not coming down. It's still incredibly high. She's not lying. Everyone knows everything's still crazy expensive. He says, oh, but even though it bothered him that she said that, he ended the tariffs on beef, tropical fruit, and some other things. He says, I'm withdrawing my support and endorsement of Congress. He put Congresswoman in quotes. I don't know why he did that. To me, that's rude as shit because she is a Congresswoman. Marjorie Taylor Greene of the great state of Georgia. This is the side of Trump that really bothers me because he can get really ridiculous. petty, putting it in quotes. She is a congresswoman. That is such bullshit and disrespect to how many years and work she's put in. And she's been a good, strong fighter for conservative values of the great state of Georgia. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating a record achievements of our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown, I wouldn't call that a victory. It happened, which shouldn't have. Closed borders, low taxes, no men and women's sports, yay, or transgender for everyone, and ending DEI, yay, stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, yes, but you could do a lot better. Biggest regulation cuts in history, stopping 8 wars now, rebuilding our military, being respected by every country in the world. Here's the thing, Trump, the one thing she talked about, that's not on your list. The one thing she said. Yes, you did all of these things, and those things are wonderful. But he just said, and having created the hottest country anywhere in the world from being a dead country just 12 months ago and so much more, all I see is wacky Marjorie do is complain. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor because she was polling at 12% and didn't have a chance unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. She has which that sentence right there is a little contradictory because he's saying it started when she polled low at 12%. At the time, if it hasn't started yet when presenting this thing, he said she would have to have his endorsement to win. And then he says she wasn't about to get it. So he wasn't going to give it to her before they did the test poll at 12%. And it says she has told many people that she is upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore. But with 219 Congress people, blah, 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 and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. I feel like this is extreme. Ooh, here it goes. She has gone far left, even doing The View with their low IQ Republican hating anchors. He didn't watch it. If he thinks that, he didn't watch it. She's not going far left. She's just honest, and she's like me. I'm not going to just blindly be loyal to anybody. I'll love you, and then if you do something wrong that causes me to be like, wait a second, this is not okay, I'm going to say that. She said she's not beholden to her caucus or any agenda, that she is really just looking out for the people, because she's not wrong. Everything is still expensive. But that's what all of this hissy fit was about. And I don't like that. I don't like that. And I looked over that a lot before but it's just some things that you'll see as the show goes on. Okay. The dead has to eat too. Hey, Mike, glad you're here. The chat says he repeats the same accomplishments over and over and over. Yeah, he does. Trump needs to question who is advising him. They are the same ones that ran Elon off. Interesting point. Someone probably told him that he has poor advisors, obviously. Yeah, I think someone's out for Marjorie and he's just believing what they say. And then he's just coming up with like his own assumption. So to him, the fact that she even went, this is the kind of Trump's very huge on loyalty. So the fact that she even gave The View the time of day is a betrayal in his point, and he's going to view her as, the camera's cutting me off. I forgot what I was saying. Look. This. When I sit and like move around, like if I get comfortable, I'm like cut off. That's fine. That's too far. I mean, I just want just my arm. Okay. 5,000 dead people were collecting SNAP. 500,000 were getting it double. The Secretary of the Department of Agriculture said that they found 500,000 people were registered twice for SNAP and they chose these are people that just don't want to work. These are people that can get a job. So I think the shutdown gave them time to skim through everything. And they said that they have some very big announcements coming in the next week about SNAP. So keep that on your radar. All right. Prison staffers fired for stealing. So look at this shit. Senator Raskin fucking convinced the prison guards to leak Ghislaine Maxwell's emails. Okay, and then remember when that was out and the whistleblower about her emails? There was no whistleblower. It was just him paying off the prison guards to get her emails. So her attorney, Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, Leah Safin, said that multiple federal prison staffers have been fired for illegally breaking into Maxwell's privileged attorney-client emails. And then those emails were funneled straight to, Congressman Raskin, who blasted them in the media. So yeah, it's funny how much stuff is like really coming out with like this Epstein stuff. This is like, jeez. Oh yeah, Raskin is the one who promised Trump civil war conditions, and here we are. That's right. The shit down. Funny little typo, you know. What'd you say? Sorry to answer your question, Miss Luna. I've spent many years from when I asked you what you did. Oh, that's cool. I love that. I think you might have said that on another show, maybe. I'll remember this time. Okay. So what the big announcement was today about the Epstein files was that Pam Bondi is going to be, she announced that Jay Clayton, the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, was going to lead the investigation. So what they're doing is looking into prominent Democrats and JP Morgan Bank. She says that he's really trusted, Jay Clayton, that he has a lot of urgency and integrity, underscoring that Epstein's political and financial network has never been fully accounted for. So that's an interesting last sentence. It's never been fully accounted for. So I guess they're going to find out every single political person and every single bank transaction that's ever happened. So there's that. I almost went into the military as a human intelligence collector, Texas. Okay, so here's another video. My people. Play. It says, when I hear someone talking about their love for the U.S., closed borders, and Charlie Kirk. Can you mute my mic for a second? I'll do it. Also, I just needed an excuse to look at Jason Momoa flip open a chair all sexy like. That's also fun. But yes, that's my people. My people who want to sit and talk about all these things going on, you know. Make sure we on the same page. You know, we friends. If shit pops off, I got your back, you got mine. Texas says, you have a good mind for that field. Thank you. I think I do too. It's just it's because that's why I'm naturally inclined. USMC, myself, no regrets. Thank you for your service, Marine. Everyone on EBT and Snap needs to reapply. This is a good thing. I agree. I think it's a wonderful thing. It's gonna get all the gunk out. All right. So Anthony Sabatini. Y'all know I showed him last time talking shit about Trump. And this one, so Anthony does not like me. We were in the same campaign circles because we were both politicking at the time. He's an attorney and he's was in the state House of Representatives for Florida. I didn't like his last post, but I happen to kind of agree with the first sentence. So now Trump attacks Marjorie Taylor Greene, but strongly supports Lindsey Graham. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Lindsey Graham will talk shit on Trump so fast. I don't know why Trump stays okay with him because he hates that. And then Lindsey Graham's a fucking warmonger, man. He always wants to like go to war. Like, what has happened? What's going on? Like, I think Trump made a really big mistake saying this about Marjorie Taylor Greene because she's one of the few on the right that like we trust. And saying this to me is not MAGA saying that because Marjorie is very much America first, very staunch America first, period. And I don't know something is going on, y'all. I don't like it. I can't believe I'm saying this, like, because I love Trump and it's just like, something's not right. Something is up and I don't fucking like it. And I think Charlie Kirk's death is the catalyst. It's going to fucking change everything. Yeah, Mike, it's true. The money, everything's about the money. And Trump loves money. We know that. He built his whole business catering to luxury because he loves luxury. And that's cool. I do the same thing. My businesses are catered to luxury. But I definitely can't be bought. I mean, that was the establishment's biggest problem with me is that I wouldn't accept any deals. And they gave me motherfucking hell for it, dude. And people will just be pressured into taking these deals too. And Charlie stood up for it, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene standing up for it. It's the way I stood up for it. There's really only a certain small amount of people in Congress on the right that are actually spiritually anchored, which is why part of me is upset I didn't win, but they pulled a real nice trick out their hat and split my vote and guaranteed the incumbent win. But if I could just get on the floor with AOC, if I could be there to have MTG and Marjorie Taylor Greene's back right now, I would. The Israeli lobby is about censorship and it is anti-MAGA. You're 100% right. And yes, it is all a distraction. I think people like Mark Levine and the Israel lobby. I don't like Mark Levine. It's very clear he is Israel first. He's not America first. He's Israel, then America. Yes, for sure. Something is going on. Something's going on. We all feel it because Trump said he was going to release the Epstein files day one and he didn't. But don't worry. We're almost to the end. I'm going fast on this show because we got on late. So I'm sorry, guys. I know we like to chop it up and like get silly and stuff, but it's late, you know. All right. New Yorkers are fed up. Boys, let's watch another man be a man. It's sexy.
Get the fuck out of the store. Pull it out, you little fucking prick. Fuck out. Where's the boy? Get out.
Look at that bitch punch. You can tell that boy never been in a fight.
Pull it out. Pull it out.
Fucking stealing shit.
Get the fuck out of the store.
Dude.
Pull it out, you little fucking prick.
I know, look at that punch. That punch. Watch this punch come in. Yeah. Oh, man. Good, though. That's what men are. Men don't look away. Killuminati John says it's not Jewish people. I won't label a race. It's the lobbies. I'm not labeling a race either. I understand the difference between the Zionists, which is the state of Israel, and the Jewish people. But I am not in support of the Jewish religion either, because I have a copy of the Talmud, and the Torah is free to read online. You can find it online. And it's horrible. It's an absolutely horribly racist book. They're allowed to commit crimes on people who aren't Jewish. Spiritually, it's acceptable because they're goyim, which they call goys. It's a derogatory word. And when it comes to pedophilia, haven't you noticed how the pedophile rings are full of very rich people from that area? Well, the Talmud says that it's perfectly fine to commit a lewd act on a child from the age of 3 and up. So, welcome back, Hardcore Hair Sticks. It's not the people, the race, which it's not that. That doesn't determine whether I'm cool with you. I have friends who are of that race, but are not of that religion and are not of that political affiliation. So, that's just kind of, yes, it is very much like the Quran. Very much. It's honestly the two regions. The Bible said the sons of Isaac and Jacob. So basically, the Jews and the Arabs are cousins. And they said that they would be cursed forever. And they've been fighting for 3,000 years because of what they did to reject, whatever pact they had with Yahweh. I can't remember right now. It's getting late. But he said that he would curse them and he would disown the Jews. They weren't going to be allowed to have borders or a state. So what you're seeing playing out is literal historical history you can read about in the Bible. They will always fight with each other. They have such a similar belief system because they're quite literally, the two races are cousins, descendants of each other. And they're all off the Abrahamic. So the Islamic and the Judeo-Christian is off the Abrahamic line. So it comes from the Semitic culture. Both Islam and Judaism come from the Semitic race, which was right before the establishment of Judaism and Islam. So that was why it's so similar, because of what the pagan religion was before, when they were all just Semitic together. And then as the Semitic race multiplied out, it became the different tribes. So the Levites, the Shulamite, etc. And then as further east you went, you ran into the sheiks and so on and so forth. So let's see. Mike says, do you think this is all done on purpose to wake people up? I think that that's the overall divine purpose, because all things are from God. The law of duality exists. You can't have light without dark, up without down, right without left. And so the devil would be the other side of the coin. If all comes from God, then evil will always exist, because you can't define good without the evil, and vice versa. So I think it really depends on how connected to God you are. It could take you and absorb you into that evil system, or it can wake you up and separate you from that system and shine as a light worker and one of God's people. So I think by default, it just kind of does both things. It entraps and frees people. It says, this time will come for good men to do very bad things to evil people in the near future. That is called holy war. Some acts of violence, when done to protect others, is holy and moral in the universal moral construct. Not necessarily in the human construct, but, I think doing a bad thing doesn't necessarily make it evil. What makes it bad is that it doesn't feel good. But is the purpose, what's the purpose? I mean, no one thinks unaliving someone is good. I hope I never have to do that in self-defense, but I'm prepared to do it. So Mike said, perfect explanation. I agree 100%. Thank you. Thank you for interacting with me. All right. Stephen A. Smith. Y'all, he's surprising me right now. Go on with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that the Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration. You were there for 4 years.
Yo, he mad.
How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then?
That's what we want to know.
What am I missing? I'm not saying I know. It's a legitimate
What
question.
is the reason?
Maybe I don't remember the answer. Maybe my extraordinary producers should be able to help me during the commercial break. But from my understanding, the same files that were open or being open now.
Remember Cardi B, that meme that went around where she was like, what is the reason? What is the reason? What is the reason? Yeah, that's us. What is the reason? Somebody tell us the motherfucking reason.
With the 220 pages of documents or whatever it is, with various emails, that could have been done when Biden was in office.
Oh, I don't trust him
do it?
At all. I'm just shocked.
If it's so important now.
It's kind of crazy how the Epstein thing really is the bipartisan issue, like amongst the regular citizens. Like, we're all like, where is it? That's how I know something's up. Something's not okay. Because this is the one thing everybody is like, because he makes a fair point. And to hear, I don't think he's a sports football guy or something. Now he has a political show, and he's left. No, he's 100% in the middle. He's centrist. Most people in reality are centrist, and that's really how you should be, because not everything is a cookie cutter situation. You should be able to look at individual situations and be a bit graceful and slide a little bit to meet the expectations Christ has for you. And that's all.
What were the Democrats doing at that particular moment in time? See? This is the kind of stuff that smells.
Mm-hmm.
Because my attitude is just deducing how much they despise Trump.
Right.
If there was some real bona fide dirt on them, since you went after
That's what I said at the beginning of the show.
34 felony convictions, which essentially was deduced
That's what everybody's
to
saying.
him paying hush money to Stormy Daniels, a porn star, just so she wouldn't reveal their.
They go, why do people tell me I need to respect their bullshit? You don't have to respect anybody. You are free to not do that. You don't have to respect bullshit. You know? I'm talking about just because you don't go into pretend world with them doesn't mean you have to be vile to them. It's more loving to help them realize the reality they live in. And if you back that up with kindness, then we're not being the way the Democrats say we are. You can still be loving towards these people and help them wake up by just living in reality and not allowing them to get you emotionally. Y'all see all the hate I get on my page? None of them grab me. I will not take the bait. I will have a logical conversation with them. What they do with that is on them, whether they take it or not. But I'm not going to get emotional. And the best thing I can do for them is to always stay anchored in reality and humility. Not act like I know everything, because I don't. Not act like I know their experience, because I don't know what it's like to want to be a different gender. Whatever is wrong with you, clearly something is not okay. You're not mentally well. And I think all these people, we need to realize they are not mentally well. We can't deal with them as if they are mentally well. And people who are not mentally well, if we would be loving and kind towards someone who is physically unwell, we need to remember that mental health is far longer lasting and much more torturous than a physical disability, because we can compensate for that. And people are difficult. You don't have to be close to them. You do not have to work with them. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But the one thing is, we cannot give them fuel to make them look right at all, because we don't know what they're going through. Only God knows that. And my friend Jesus said, I gotta be kind to them. I'm not gonna treat a trans person badly out in public. Now, if I saw them doing something inappropriate around a child, you best believe I will step up, speak up for that child. I don't care about your La La Land at that point because the priority now becomes the child and not your mental health issues. But I won't pretend anything, and you will use the proper bathrooms, and you will not play in women's sports. We will be in reality, and the reality is that you are mentally unwell, and you need to get that addressed.
Their happenings with one another leading up to the election in 2016, okay? If you had something like that you were willing to parade him through the streets with, of course, if you had something on him about Epstein, you'd have let it go earlier to make sure he didn't become the 47th president. That's just my thinking from a logical perspective. But what do I know? Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that the Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration. You were there for 4 years.
Yeah, it started over. Okay. So in the chat, I tried, but it's on site with the left. I understand what you mean, because conservatives will look at me on site and assume that I'm like a liberal because I'm brown and tatted, and they're so ignorant. And you know what? It's just funny because when I don't respond the way they think I'm going to, it just they don't know what to do because the plan went out of their head. Now they don't know what to do. So if you can't disarm a situation, just keep it moving. If you're going to be pursued, stick up for yourself, bro. You know? Those children's books, I would go buy all of them if I knew where they were and burn them. You know what I'm saying? Make a video burning them. Just battle it like the way I battle it. That's what I'm doing, dude. You know what I mean? But nah, man, don't let anybody bully you. Shit. Everybody knows I don't. Anybody that knows me in real life, I will respect you and give you your space. I will not. I don't like the smoke. I don't start fires. But if you gonna start fire, you gonna get the smoke from me. I'm a peaceable person. But if you step to me, I won't run. I will de-escalate. But if you gonna keep acting like an ass, you will meet the hand. That dude, Steven Smith, he's very much a centrist. Someone said, I don't trust that dude. He's just a centrist. I think he's harmless. I think there are a lot of times that he says things that do make sense because he surprises me lately. But then there's other things I don't agree with, but that's how it is. Centrists are, I mean, you know, we've kind of talked about that earlier. All right. This is what Republican, Representative Tim Burchett says. Now, he's the one that got stopped outside on the stairs where he was saying, we brought the vote and they said no. The Dems said no. So here, he's on a podcast on the Charlie Kirk show talking about Epstein's victims. Virginia did not want her files released. So let's listen to that.
She wanted access to the files because she was in them, but her mind had blacked it all out. And God gives people that defense mechanism. Sometimes people incur some just horrendous things as children or whatever, and that's a defense mechanism, and it's blocked out of their mind. And she wanted to go back and read the files and find out where she was and what they'd done, what that dirtbag had done to her. And so they said, and so I said, ma'am, so you want the files released? And she said, no, I do not want the files released. I just want to have access to them. And, you know, and they're like, and the attorney said, no, she does not want those files released. And you know, that never gets out. And I'm just sick of it.
This all happened during the court case. Remember, she testified in court that Trump did not do anything with her. They were just in the same room. And the victim gets say on like what they want public, and she didn't want any of this. I don't understand that message,
exactly
Nico.
What they're all about during the shutdown and everything else. It's political theater. All they want is power and control. They don't want anything out. They just want the control over the mindset of the population.
There you go. That's what it was. They screamed about the Democrats, screamed about Trump, blah, 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 blah. They just want the control over how you think. They didn't really want it all coming out because so many of them are implicated in this. That's why they shut the government down. They thought it was the election, but no, it was this.
Healthcare away. We're going to starve you to death. And nothing is further from the truth. And yesterday proved it, because this lady that's in this email that
Oh,
they
yeah, I
released
agree about Michael Wolff.
said Trump did her no harm. She said that under oath in court, in a dadgum federal court setting. I mean, she could do time if she perjured herself.
Right.
And she wanted her name not released, but in her bravery, she just said, forget it. And she said, this is a lie. This is not accurate. So you're going to believe Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, or whatever the heck her name is. Over this,
I got one
Ghislaine.
name wrong. I can help you with that one.
Yeah. You're going to believe them over the innocent, this victim. That's what the Democrats are doing. They do not care about the people.
No,
said she
they
wanted
care about
access to the files because
they care about making the people slaves. That's what they care about, and Trump stands in the way of that because Trump loves the free market because he loves being wealthy. So, okay. Now, for the last 3 weeks or so, all of you who've been tuning in every day, I don't know how many of you guys that are on every day are still here. But for those that are newer, I've been talking about the digital ID issue a lot. Don't switch it yet. This scares me. This is the first moment in my entire life where I feel actually truly terrified by something, because this isn't this isn't what the government's doing. The government's going to respond to this, but this is what the elite system has deployed upon us. Okay. I'm not talking about the heads of state. I'm talking about the families that run the few families that run the world. So digital ID is here in the USA. While the shutdown was going on, while everyone was hooting and hollering about Epstein and the shutdown, your Apple phone, I can only speak for Apple because I have an iPhone, has now loaded it up onto your phone. Go ahead, look.
Crazy freaking news. Okay, so digital ID is officially, and for the first time ever, live in the United States, and it was quietly launched this afternoon through the Apple Wallet. Go check if you don't believe me. The option is now there. And I don't even have automatic updates set. I don't even know how it got in there. So they're beginning with 12 states and Puerto Rico with plans to rapidly expand to the rest of the nation. Apple calls it secure and private, but critics say that this is the first major step toward a centralized
fucking
ID
crazy?
system.
Are they fucking crazy? AI also just figured out a way how to, send out viruses that have AI written into them, and as they are traveling along, they are doing what real biological viruses do. They have intelligence now, and they can mutate on the spot using AI and steal all of your bank stuff. China has deployed it. There's an article going around about it. Show them, you can end that. Show them the screenshot I sent you. This is my phone. You see what's right there in red? Digital license and ID cards. It's there. If you don't resist this, we are fucked. Fucked. No lube. Up the ass. You can't comply to this. You can switch it back to one. If you comply to this, it's done. We're over. It's over. They can create crimes you never committed. They can create violations you never committed. They can keep your pay if you commit what they determine to be a misdemeanor. Do not comply with this 1 second ever. This may be the hill we have to die on. Because you know how many things the doctor is going to require. The government may not be able to require you to have digital ID, but private companies can. And guess what slippery slope that is? So you won't be able to see your doctor because the doctor place will be like, nope, we require a digital ID. You might not be able to get your passport. You might not be able to renew your license. You might not be able to do X. So much will be dependent on traveling, flights. I saw it in the DC airport when I flew through DC. It was for foreign people coming here, but I was like, cognitive dissonance kicked in. I'm like, nope. That will never happen here. That'll never happen here. That'll never happen. And I actually got myself to forget about it for a while. Oh, I love Minority Report, Cramden. That's like, I think Hollywood, I think God puts light workers in the snake pits to help get the word out. And you have to be awake enough to catch it, have some semblance of sensing the contradictions in your environment to start even being triggered to look for what's going on, to even know to look for truth in a web of lies. And I think there are people in Hollywood that try to put it out and leave it up to you to figure it out. But I think they show us what's happening. The plan, Terminator 2, Minority Report. I mean, so many things that they show us in the movies they can actually do in real life. Peter Thiel. Yes, you're right. Peter Thiel. There's another name too. Hold on. Let me look at the past show. There's another name that you gotta watch out for too. Oh shit. Where is it? God, what's this guy's name? I know I had it on one of the papers from one of the other shows. Ah, well. It'll come up. Yeah, because, you guys will talk about a lot of the same stuff. Real ID is not the same. Real ID has been around for a while. Real ID is like, it just shows it's not the same. This is a move to get away from hard copy IDs, just digital ID. And so, yeah, it's there on my phone. For anybody joining, I will show you right now. Apple, with the last update, did it. And here it is. You hit the 3 dots right here. The plus sign. And then there it is. Right here in red. Driver's license and ID cards. Boom. Do not do this. If you do that, it's over. We have to resist this as a whole, as a country, like as many people as possible. Tell all your friends and family, read about the ramifications and the risks, what it puts you vulnerable to, and educate everyone everywhere, because we cannot do this. We can't do this. And here's one last video. Between the digital ID thing showing up here in the US and some of these emails that have been in the Epstein thing, I'm just not happy. All right, let's hear it. Nick Fuentes talks about one of the emails that I think you guys should go look at.
During a November 2017 email chain with Epstein, Faith Cates, who co-founded a modeling agency, asked the financier where he was spending Thanksgiving. After a few exchanges, she asked, "Who else is there?" Epstein replied, "David Fizzell, Hansen, Trump." November 2017. That's Trump's first Thanksgiving in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Are you telling me that Donald Trump had Thanksgiving dinner with Jeffrey Epstein when he was the president?
Thanksgiving. That's an intimate thing. Not the cabinet having Thanksgiving, not like a huge group of people, and Jeffrey Epstein just happens to be there because it's a ballroom and you buy tickets and you get invited by this other person and this, there's people who actually fill these parties and they go and like invite people. It wasn't like that. This is after he was president.
Are you kidding me? That is what is in the files.
If you're going to kick him out of Mar-a-Lago, why are you going to have Thanksgiving dinner with him?
20,000 emails that were released yesterday. We don't even have all of them. And this Department of Justice said the files didn't exist. And they knew that this was in them.
Do y'all remember that? At the beginning, they said that. That's why he had said Epstein hoax. Then he edited what he meant by that. I don't know if he ever directly clarified it, but I feel like through a lot of the things he said, I think he was like trying to say like that the hoax was that he did something. But I believe he didn't do anything with a minor. I don't think he would do that. Now, why are you having a meeting with him after you already kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, took his membership because he's a pedophile creep? What is it you needed to discuss? Like, he's your enemy.
Really? How do you expect anybody to ever trust the Trump government ever again?
I just don't like it. You know, it's not the one thing that's going to make me be like, yeah, this is proof, but it's just more evidence. So it's not proof, it's just evidence. And it's just very weird. You know, you should go look it up. Go look at those that portion of the emails, because it puts some kinks in some narratives. It does. And we just have to sit and wait and see. 23,000 emails are a lot of emails. I'm surprised someone hasn't put them through AI and like made it read it really fast. But I don't know. I don't like what I'm feeling about it all. And I just hope that this doesn't turn out to be like finding out that he's aiding and protecting someone, because that would be just as bad, you know. And so I just hope that's not what it is. And I can be honest enough to say I don't like those emails. I can be honest enough to say it's not proof of anything, but it just goes in the circumstantial evidence pile. So, but you know, just because someone turned Epstein into Florida law enforcement, like, you know, you've seen cases where like people pretend to be helping the police. And honestly, I've seen a lot of cases where, because I'm a forensic psychologist, I've seen a lot of cases, but I do research psychology, where the person that's like helping the most, overly helping, was like guilty as AF. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of one of those things where that email is just kind of like, I need to know about this meeting. What is, if you banned him from your property back in, what was it, 2011, Ryan? Something like that. And then you become president and then you're having Thanksgiving with him. Why? What is up? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he is or isn't doing anything, but it just doesn't feel good. Oh, yeah, Woody, of course, there's good and bad on both sides. But my point is, I'm not going to let cognitive dissonance get in the way of the fact that if you're having Thanksgiving with Epstein, your first Thanksgiving in the White House, after you've banned him for being an asshole. So what is up? I'm not going to be someone that's just going to ignore it because I love Trump. That's weird. If my kid did that, I'd be like, what are you doing? I would ask the same questions of my kid that I want to know the reasons for this for. You know, it doesn't mean I don't want to hear what I want to hear. Of course I want to hear it was something innocent or something more complicated, or that he was really politicking hard and keeping his cards close to his heart and just getting information. Maybe it's that, but I want to know. Maybe it was something good that's going to help. I'm not saying I agree with Nick Fuentes. I don't think Nick Fuentes likes Trump. So, there's that. But he's just the one that was talking about the thing that I wanted to talk about. So that's why it happens to just be him. I don't like Pam Bondi. I'm just going to say that. She fucking lost me the day she said hate speech is illegal. But yeah, Mike, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he could be making a play. It could be a play, and it just looks bad from the outside. But I want to know that now. At this point, I want to know. You know what I mean? I don't like how this feels. I don't know if it's going to be Trump, but I think there's going to be something that comes out that's going to not be, that's going to hurt. But, you know, we have to wait and see. It's just kind of, but that's the thing. Not a single arrest. Killuminati John 3 is so right. They're not going to ever fucking do anything because the amount of high level people that are pulled into this thing is probably, they're probably just untouchable, honestly. And it just from trickle down there. And it's just, I don't know. They have to make some kind of show out of all this because we've been demanding it so bad. And Trump knows he can't leave office not being the popular president. So I think I just want to make sure that what we're getting is true, because first he said he was going to release it day one. Then he said it was a hoax, and they said that the files didn't exist. Now they say the files are real because we find out that they've had them for fucking ever, and that Trump had them. That the freaking, I think the Republic, everyone had them before Trump even won office. So it's just, to see the weirdness of, you didn't say anything then. You tried to pretend that it was wanted it to go away. And then basically it's the Republicans, his own Republicans are pushing. We've been hearing them all on TV talk about it. They're pushing him for it. So I think he's being forced. And I think he's probably telling whoever is in charge of all of that, I have to do something. I have to say, I don't know. That's what I want to know, though, It could be anything. Governments are fucking nefarious, especially kings. Think about it. The things that kings do, just going through history, kings and queens, they think they can do whatever they want because they get the God complex. Who knows? I mean, Prince Andrew didn't go to jail, but, they knew King Charles. Remember 2 weeks ago, I put a video out about King Charles kicking Prince Andrew, he's just a normie now. He's just a normal person. He took everything because they told USA, told Britain, we're putting this out. And then the government shutdown happened. Or maybe that happened during the government shutdown. But I know that a lot of stuff was coming out now today about the Democrats actually wanting to keep it shut down because they were trying to delay this. I don't know. It can get confusing. You can kind of go down so deep with it to the point where you start to spiral in your head and then you don't even know anymore. Because literally anything the government says can be a lie. I mean, they can create realities at will, and the biggest commodity is your mind. So I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't trust anything anymore. And I really love Trump. So it's just like, please stay totally clean through this whole thing. That's what I'm praying for. Because I do not want to fucking sit in here, Democrat extremist liberals screaming for months on end about him. I do not want any of them to feel vindicated or right. Like, I just don't, but, they took the files, what was left of them. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. I hope he stays clean the whole way through, man. I know Trump's a powerful man, and powerful men rub elbows together. And powerful men and women, there's good ones and evil ones. And when I ran for office, I had to sit at dinner tables with evil people. So I understand that it could be that, but it's Thanksgiving. So it's like, staffers are with their families. Not a lot of people walking around the White House. What was that? That's all I'm saying. I don't like it. All right. Shit. What happened to the parties? Democratic Party was so different 20 years ago. Yeah, I know. Most conservatives look like the Democrat Party 20 years ago, because things change. Everything. What's happening is the East trying to take over the West, just like the Bible foretold. the King of the North and King of the South. That's in the Bible. You should read about it. Ha! Woody the Roadman says, don't go down that rabbit hole. You don't want to be up for 3 days. Pictures all over your wall that you drew and hearing. Yep, too late. I have whiteboards and yarn and yeah. All right, guys. Well, it was a pleasure being with all of you. I tried to get through this quickly and we still ended up pretty long show, but you guys are wonderful. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a show tomorrow. I may or may not. So if you don't see me tomorrow, don't worry. I will be back. Sunday is my Thirst Trap News Nightcap edition. That is just for subscribers. So that's my edition where we talk about the news, where I'm in lingerie, not raunchy, nice, pretty. And we have a whiskey and a smoky smoke together, and we go over the news and get a little fashion show. So that's for subscribers only. And sorry, folks, if you're on YouTube, you have to go to Instagram and subscribe if you want those. But those are live Sunday nights. But I love all of you. Please, America first. Don't fuck with digital ID. And stay talking with each other. Keep each other motivated. Gotta have neighbor community. God bless you all. Good night.